Hey guys, so I'm gonna share with you some random ideas for today, alright? Yeah, I decided, I'm gonna do it, yeah. Alright, are you ready? A monster that looks like a zebra, only with no face, other than a set of razor-sharp, shark-like bloody teeth. Whoa, it's like an Eldracore. Yeah, sometimes the best way to make an Eldracore is just do something really simple. To kind of throw things off. Alright now. A monster that is like a dragon made out of toy guns that can fire tons of Nerf darts with destructive force like real bullets. Its head is a toy gun, its arms are made of toy guns, its wings are toy guns, and even its feet are toy guns. But all of them are, toy guns, yeah. Yeah, its body is even made up of toy guns. Basically, it's like the toy version of, Gunfermon. Yeah, I learned that was in Time Stranger, so I thought, it'd be funny to, kind of reference it. I kind of thought it'd be funny if, they took it and, made it like, Toon Barrel Dragon. Yeah, if you don't know, Toon Barrel Dragon is like, Barrel Dragon in Yu-Gi-Oh, but made of toy guns. Like pea shooters and stuff. It's a pretty funny card, yeah. To kind of reference the, censorship around, Barrel Dragon. Alright, now, a monster that resembles a beautiful picture of a woman in red that becomes creepy and malicious and possessed and chases people to capture them in their painting so it can escape its person while replacing the picture with someone else before tearing the painting up. Oh no, it's like the captain from Castlevania. You guys ever see that one? Wait, I thought, didn't they reference that boss in, wait, didn't they reference, alright. Didn't they reference that boss in, Curse of the Moon one? Yeah, I think I remember that, yeah. Yeah, it's like, whoa, a possessed painting, yeah. Yeah, it's really good in that one, shit, which Castlevania game was that? I remember it was like Richter and Maria. Yeah, it was in that one, yeah. One of the classic Vanias, yeah. A monster that is a possessed, stitched together chimera made by an evil taxidermist that is like a pig and a moose and a bear with eagle wings. They're all like a chimera, yeah. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of some of Porky's creation, although obviously this is more inspired by Chronicles of Wolf since, there was an evil taxidermist in that game and I just played that not too long ago. Just like it last night. So I thought, why not reference it? Maybe I could make an evil taxidermist, who makes, who makes chimeras. That, sounds fun. That sounds pretty fun, doesn't it? Yeah. Alright now, a monster that looks like a tyrannical, ugly, demonic king with a bloated face, made of slime that is on a throne attached, that it has a throne attached to it, and below it are blind devotees who are also fused with it and still believe in it despite its evil. Yeah, this creature is spawned from tyranny. Yeah, basically it's like a corrupt politician and all their simps, fused together. Yeah, basically based on, tyranny. I have no specific reason for making it, though. Not whatsoever, no. Anyway, next one. A magical girl made of blue slime that has the power to shapeshift and, bend her shape in various ways. She comes from a video game world and was a fodder enemy at the lowest of low rank. Yeah, and she became super powerful later on. It's obviously based on Dragon Quest slimes, them. They're obviously the blue slimes, yeah. You remember them, that basic, Dragon Quest slime, yeah. Alright, a thorn-covered, dark-haired, foul-mouthed, scowling woman dressed in nettle leaves that is carrying a set of venomous needles with her. She is a hostile nature spirit born of stinging nettle plants. Alright, stinging nettles, they're a plant that, if you brush up against them, they sting you. Yeah, and some of them, particularly like the ones in Australia, are like super dangerous. Yeah, don't mess with the ones in Australia, yeah. Of course, the ones that are super dangerous are actually in Australia. Most of them aren't, super bad, but, still stay away from them because they really hurt. Yeah, I remember. I remember. Running into them. When I was at my aunt's house. Yeah. All right, now next one. A monster that looks like a porcelain white and blue teapot with a single eye on it that erupts in anger easily due to over manners and taste and lashes out with burning tea and scalding steam. No. Sounds like a Victorian era fairy, yeah. Kind of a corrupt one. I wouldn't be surprised if, it took on the form of a teapot, yeah. Alright, next one. A monster that looks like a humanoid wooden woman that is a contortionist that uses a bow and arrow with her feet and hands. Oh, maybe I could give her features that look like arrows, like have a big giant arrowhead to her head. Yeah, or give her little arrow fingers. Or arrow toes. Yeah, put the arrowheads on her. Yeah. Anyway, a monster that looks like a floating die with red eyes that make up each of the number, and it has flaming creepy looking wings and has a bloody halo over it. Is actually a loaded die that was created from dishonest gamblers. Yeah, remember, tulpamancy is a big thing in the lore, so some of the things that people come up with aren't exactly the most kind. Yeah. All right, now next one. A monster with a hammerhead a monster with a hammerhead for a head, and it has a sharp tooth mouth on it, and angry looking eyes, and it's dressed in a big red bloody cloak, and it carries around a giant hammer that is made out of hammerheads. Oh yeah, the hammer made of hammerheads can separate into a whole bunch of hammerheads and have them fly at you. Or turn them all into regular hammers and have them do a whole bunch of special moves. Yeah, I figured that'd be kind of fun to make. I kind of was inspired by seeing that one meme of the hammerhead shark that was made of hammerheads. I thought, why not? Alright, yeah. Alright, now, alright, next one. A creature that looks like a humanoid with a giant bomb for a head and carries explosives in its hands and is strapped with a vest of dynamite is a hero from the video game dimension that uses explosives to defeat monsters. Yeah, obviously that's based on Bomberman. Honestly, that's based on Bomberman. Alright, now, alright, now, next one. And this is the last one. A creature that looks like a sparrow that has eyes all over its bodies and wings, but not its face. Oh no, it's biblically accurate. Yeah, it's probably also a war criminal, too. Anyway. That's all I have to share for you for today. Ah, wait, anybody, wake up. Wake up. Ah, shit, anybody, got frozen. Ah, shit, stupid camera. Sorry about that. Alright, yeah, it's kind of a little finicky when I try to do this, so I'm sorry about that. Thank you for watching. Hope you had fun. Remember to play games and have fun. Okay, bye-bye now.